Oh boy, this James Charles thing is getting out of control. It seems like every single day there's a new accusation that's coming out. The other thing I don't get is why these guys are coming out on TikTok to make their allegations, because that's like the least credible app there is. And frankly, it's also stupid because when people are trying to play the clips as evidence, they have to mute everything because it's being played over by copywritten music. It's just so insane. Anyway, what's going on, guys? I've been waiting a while to talk about the new accusations and everything about James Charles, just because I wanted to make sure there was enough valid information out there and everything, because one thing I've seen online, which I think is completely valid criticism, especially amidst the whole David Dobrik controversy and even going off of like the Shane Dawson controversy and everything, I had seen a lot of people asking, well, why doesn't James Charles get held to the same standard? And I think that's a completely valid question, because you do see, or at least in the beginning of everything, people weren't really taking it seriously. And one reason I really think that stems back to the Dramageddon 2 situation, where a very similar situation was happening. I'd even say that it was even more blown up than this is. Frankly, I think everybody's been so desensitized with all these accusations coming out, and not just with James Charles, but with all influencers that are exposed for being bad people. The situation 2 years ago turned out to, I think from my understanding, my gears are a little rusty on the situation because it happened so long ago, but I'm pretty sure not only did they lack evidence, but they also had either blown things out of proportion or made certain parts of it up. It also didn't help the fact that Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star were backing these stories, and Toddy Westbrook had a significant amount of support for their statements as well. That's at least just my reasoning from why I think people were skeptical with these new accusations in 2021. Anyway, this most recent accusation from a guy on TikTok, at the time of recording this, it was released on March 30th. He makes very similar accusations as the other guys have, and he, like the other guys, includes screenshots and evidence. However, in the TikTok, of course, the evidence kind of speeds by a little fast due to the time limit. When you stop and look at the screenshots that he takes, it gives kind of a side of the picture that the overall message of his accusation doesn't seem to add up. And taking a look at the first screenshots, it looks kind of like, at least from my interpretation, it looks like the kid is sort of entrapping James. Like, so obviously this person was a minor. As evidence shows in this accusation, sexual images were not sent, unlike the other accusations. I'm not going to talk about the other accusations in this video because I want to simply address the accusation that most recently came out. So no images were sent. It looks, judging by the back and forth of the messages, that James is noticing not only did he realize that the kid lied about his age, but he feels like the kid is entrapping him. And what's pretty damning also as well is it looks like the kid was posting screenshots of the conversations he was having with James on his private story, which it's just kind of not appropriate. It's not a very good look for the kid here. And then there's this part where the kid says, I don't know, but I can promise you I didn't delete anything, LOL. And then right below that, it shows that he had deleted a chat. So judging by that, it looks like he's not giving everybody the full context of the story, and he was probably hiding something else. That being said, this accusation, while in and of itself is a nothing burger regarding James Charles being a so-called predator or whatever, it does show that James has this clear pattern of careless behavior, that being him using his professional Snapchat, because it has the whole verified star by it and everything, using his professional Snapchat to essentially look for potential dates or partners. This clearly is not the first time James has encountered somebody on Snapchat who he thinks is of age, lies about their age. The only thing James Charles is guilty of in this whole entire situation is being an idiot because of his pattern of behavior. And in order for him to be a predator, there has to be evidence of malicious intent. Now, there is a pattern of behavior, but it is not malicious, because most of the times these people it turns out that they're lying about their age. And in the cases of some of these accusations, including this most recent one, they are either deleting chats or purposely leaving out certain bits of information that would give more context to the situation. He is most definitely not a pedophile, and that is something I have been seeing getting posted around Twitter, and that is partially thanks to the internet's favorite dynamic duo, which God knows why, Trisha Paytas and Ethan Klein. They're kind of, essentially, a lot of the people see them as like the moral high ground of drama currently, which I really don't understand considering the fact that something will happen in the near future that will drive them into irrelevancy once more and probably degeneracy as well. I mean, they're degenerates anyway. Ethan and Trisha have been putting tweets out there straight up calling James Charles a pedophile, which is straight up slander. And last night I saw a tweet from Nicholas Diorio saying that Ethan Klein had been calling out all of James Charles's sponsors. Not only saying fuck the brands, but then going as far as to start making pedophilia jokes about like how they're saying use code James Charles solicited nudes for me when I was underage. This has gone way too far. And the fact that I'm seeing a lot of people retweeting Trisha or tweeting at Trisha and Ethan saying, oh yeah, you're so right, James is a pedophile. It's slanderous and it's straight up disingenuous misinformation, and I wish more people would see this for what it is. Call James out for being an idiot. Do not call him a pedophile and go out on a limb and go after the sponsors, because most of the time these sponsors, I think, are waiting out to see more evidence come out, because frankly there needs to be a lot more evidence for there to be accusations of him being a predator or a pedophile. He's just being an idiot right now and being very irresponsible with his platform. And for Ethan and Trisha to go out and start attacking the sponsors, I'm pretty sure that's against terms of service, and they need to be held accountable for that. Now, I don't think Ethan is going to stop, frankly, because not only is Ethan an extremely spiteful person, because the only reason he's going after James Charles for this whole situation is because of the whole sweatshirt design scandal. Frankly, I think he'd be a lot more removed from this situation if that never happened. What I really hope people start seeing is seeing the situation for how it is. James Charles needs to be held accountable for how he's handling his platform and how essentially he's just been Snapchatting random dudes over and over, and it turns out that they're underage and everything like that. It's just he's not learning from his mistakes, and this is going one of two ways. Either James is so out of touch with reality that he clearly just doesn't learn from his mistakes and he isn't picking up on the situation, or he is just up on his high horse and he doesn't care and he thinks that this whole situation is somehow going to blow over. Either way, this is something he definitely needs to come out and address, and in my opinion, he really needs to show a change in behavior. Whether or not he's capable of that, we will see. Closing statement: do I think James Charles is a pedophile? No. Do I think he's a predator? No. Do I think he's an idiot? Yes.